And welcome back to Jeff Koinage Live right here on Citizen Television to talk about the state of the nation with the doctor himself, the bullfighter from Ikolomani, Senator Boni Khalwale, and the senator from Elgeyo Marakwet, Kipchumba Murkomen, in the House, State of the Nation. Let's get to some of your Facebook posts, which are coming in very thick and very fast. Omogusi George, you say, ask both senators what values they stand for and what bills they have brought to the Senate to support those values. Oh my, think of that, okay? Next, Kevin Kinge Sr., you say, with a tyranny of numbers, why didn't you guys change the fact that 50% of our revenue goes to 2% of the population?
I tell you.
Damn painful,
I tell you.
All right. Shem Kibet Ngetich, you say, Uhuru has done what no government has done, including the colonial government and kings of all the kingdoms before 1900 BC.
He lives in a full paradise, that one.
All right. Keep the tweets coming at K. Bonim Tetezi, at Kipchumba Murkomen, at Koinange Jeff, at Susan Kenya. The hashtag we're using all night long is JK Live. Gentlemen, there's a question before the break from Ahmed from Isli Asmali. He says, why do you all want to be governors, most of you? Is it greed? What is it?
No, I think that's a sweeping statement. We have governors who have understood devolution and who have done a good job. I can confirm for now that Governor Isaac Ruto, for instance, all these 100 days when there were no doctors in our hospitals, in Bomet, public hospitals were functional because the governor knows that health is fully devolved. Governor Peter Munya, for example, the one of Meru, has increased his revenue, local revenue collection, by over 3 billion shillings from where he found it. Those are governors who understand how devolution functions. However, and then further to that, we have other governors who have opened themselves to oversight so that they remain accountable and their transactions are...
How has Oparanya done?
Very poorly, because up to now, he's the only governor in Kenya who has never come before the Senate, and my colleague is here, to answer questions on why, how, what, and what for did you spend the money. So, in conclusion, I am very hopeful that the few or many senators who will succeed to become the second generation governor will do a better job because they have understudied devolution right from the top.
Okay, I just want to respond to that. I think many of the senators that are going for governors mean very well. They might have been driven by the inspiration of being in an oversight position, so they can see what's expected of a county government and they want to go and change. And in fact, as a matter of fact, what I believe in is that this mantra that senators agreed because they're going to be governors is actually driven by governors who feel threatened because now the persons who are doing oversight have a better understanding of what needs to be done in the county, and they can articulate the message very well. Why am I saying that? Because this profiling of this message is wrong. We have two senators, Senator Mungari and Senator Wetangula. They are running for president. Nobody has said they are greedy. We have about 40 members of National Assembly. They are running for governor. Nobody is saying they are greedy. We have more than 100 MCAs who are running for member of National Assembly. Nobody is saying that's greedy. In fact, there are many speakers of county assembly who are running for MP or senator. So to actually pick on senators alone is to run with that story of people who are profiled.
But let's also face it.
Let me go back. Let me go back to what.
You people, senators, you have no budget. You have no budget.
But let me tell you,
no money.
let me tell you, can I say this?
We are not supposed to have a budget.
Let me tell you something. We have senators who are in the Senate. We are not supposed to do executive work. As a matter of fact, I'm coming back to Senate, and I'm not expecting that we will have CDF-like of kind of thing.
Were you thinking of going for governor? Were you thinking?
No, not at the moment. You talk about myself, Mutula Kilonso Jr. We have Senator Aaron Cheruiyot from Kericho. We have senators that actually, there are more than 10 senators who are coming to the Senate. We have also senators who have just made a decision to retire from politics and are not running, like Bilokero and Abdurrahman.
Okay.
So to create this impression that there is a kind of greed, we have actually senators who are even going to run for National Assembly. And we have a senator who is running for MC in Kakamega.
Okay, switching gears. By the way, Arif says on Twitter, Murkomen looks like he's come for a photo shoot.
You should have said Murkomen looks smart. I mean, really.
Your good friend, Deputy President William Ruto.
Absolutely.
Is he under siege? Is there friction between him and Senator Gideon Moore? Is there friction there? Does he feel he's being left out of this Jubilee bandwagon?
Gideon Moore being left out?
No.
First of all, let's say that those who are manufacturing a friction between the president and deputy are actually missing the point, because that friction only exists in newspapers, and particular newspapers that are linked to the senator. Number two is that, and must be understood, the senator is running for a senator in Baringo County and has a very serious challenger who is a Jubilee candidate. So to try to say that there is a Jubilee that's leaving the deputy president for a senator of another county whom we have our own candidate running against him is actually to create, we are just lifting.
Hold on.
By the way, can I say this, and with all due respect?
Yes.
Senator Gideon Moore is my colleague in the Senate. Yeah?
Correct.
Luckily, I am senior than him in the House. So to
because you're deputy...
I'm deputy majority leader,
yes.
Is our chair of one of our committees. And the point must be made here that Senator Gideon Moore is not running for deputy president 2017. There is no contest between him and the president. If there is a contest, it is between him and Chelugui.
But there's something happening in 2022. But let me just come back.
We are not in 2022 yet.
Hold on. Nick Salat.
Yeah.
When NASA was holding their rally in Bomas, he said, Kanu Tuko, Dani.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
2 weeks later, Gideon Moore comes up and says, we will support the president, but not the deputy. Yeah,
it's because, and going to school is very good, and reading the Constitution is important. There's no way you can support the president without supporting the deputy. It is, if you go to the ballot paper that is going to pick, as he ticks for Jubilee, he will be ticking William Ruto. So he has to make a decision.
Dr. Arif, is what this man is saying true?
Yeah. No, what you are saying is again manifestation of inexperience. The poor senator doesn't realize what is at play is succession politics.
What poverty is this that this guy is talking about?
Poverty of mind. What is at play is succession politics. In the scheme of things of succeeding Uhuru, Ruto does not feature. The person who features is Gideon Moore. And if you needed any evidence, you saw how Uhuru's mother went and persuaded Gideon's father, and thereafter Uhuru went to Gideon's father and they had a tete-a-tete, and after that Gideon announced that he was going to support Uhuru. Moore would like a situation whereby Gideon supports Uhuru, and then if Uhuru were to win, God forbid, then Gideon succeeds Uhuru. Ruto should accept that he has no physical address. He's like Khalwale, son of a Janga brewer, and him is the son of a chicken seller or some funny things. These guys don't know people like him. It is the campus who say, Nehu.
Let's say two things. One, I think Senator Khalwale has now demonstrated that poverty of mind. Because really, when you think about a succession, Khalwale is talking as though Kenya is a monarchy, where when President Kenyatta finishes his term in 2022, luckily, thank God, Khalwale has admitted here. When he finishes 2022, he has no power to hand over power to anybody by virtue of a monarchy.
But let's face it,
everybody, just wait. Every person who wants to be the president of Kenya after Uhuru Kenyatta must roll up his sleeves, must pull up his socks, and must be able to be willing to get out there to get votes. Number two, by his own admission, I am happy that William Ruto can be able to make his own decision, and no one needs to visit his father for him to be assisted to make a decision. Number three, and more important, people must not forget that nobody knew the father of Moi, nobody visited the father of President Moi for him to make a decision to be the president of Kenya or a senator of Rift Valley on his time. Let me just say that Mzee Kenyatta, nobody knew his father, and he didn't take his father, and they became presidents of Kenya. The same to Mwai Kibaki. So the idea, because Khalwale is selling a very tired monarchical kind of thinking that we are in a monarchy where the queen will pass to his so forth. He must wake up to the reality that under this constitution and the Kenya we have, every citizen who wants to be able to become the president of Kenya must convince the whole country.
Can William Ruto beat Gideon Moi in 22?
Just think it this way. How many members of parliament came from Rift Valley on URP? It's nearly all of them except 3. How many senators came from Rift Valley on URP? All of them except 2. How many governors came from Kano in Rift Valley? 0. Or Kenya? 0. So you cannot even equate that contest. In 2007, Gideon Moi, William Ruto cost the loss of seat of Gideon Moi. So you cannot match.
Senator,
to be compared.
Yes. I'll ask you the same question.
Yes.
After President Uhuru is finished with his term,
yes,
like you said,
yes,
22,
yes,
can William Ruto beat Gideon Moi?
I answer you by responding to what you have said very quickly. What viewers are hearing from Senator Murkomen is classical classroom talk, academic. But in the world of real politics, that is why Moi, having been served by Saitoti for all those years, he told Saitoti that uongozi sio urafiki. And he went and fished Uhuru from nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's the reason why Uhuru is what he is today. That is called real politics. So after the vote of 8th of August this year is when Ruto will suddenly realize that he doesn't feature in the scheme of things. The use and stamp.
Scheme of things of
succession.
You cannot feature in the scheme of things of the voters of Kenya. There is no. First of all, you cannot compare the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya with the vice president. The deputy president of the Republic of Kenya is elected. In fact, were it not for the humility and the comradeship and friendship, camaraderie that the president and the deputy have, if it was Kalonzo and Raila, we could be having fights in this country because it was almost, we're running a coalition, but because of his determination. Number 2, the person who will be the president of Kenya after next election will not be elected because he's a Kalenjin. It's not a debate between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. It will be a debate between a competent Kenyan who is capable of delivering the promises of Kenya, who has demonstrated capacity. And there is no other politician. Forget about discussing William Ruto versus Uhuru Kenyatta. There is no other politician after Uhuru Kenyatta that can match the record of William Ruto. Not Raila Odinga, not Kalonzo Musyoka, not Wetangula, not Khalwale cannot even feature. It will be about the track record and capacity of a leader.
You're already campaigning for him, and it's not even.
I am not campaigning for him. His deeds are campaigning for him.
Jeff,
by the way, listen, Jeff, I was never convinced to support William Ruto because he's a Kalenjin.
Why do you support him?
I support him because of his track record, the hard work, the faith and belief he has for this country, the determination to cause change. William Ruto is one politician I can confess in this country that it's a man. When we went to Kerio Valley situation, when the things were terrible in Kerio Valley, he has visited there every 1 week. Okay. And he makes decisions on the spot without working on the bureaucracy that people talk about. That is what impresses me about him.
Why are people so scared of him?
They are scared of his competition. He's the only guy after Uhuru Kenyatta that will be the president.
Why do people say he is so unforgiving?
William Ruto, of all people in the Republic of Kenya, has worked with so many politicians that in the past never supported him. William Ruto is a good friend of Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria confessed publicly that he was duped to frame things about William Ruto. William Ruto is a good friend of so many politicians that they never studied the same bed in the past. By the way, William Ruto supported Khalwale in his by-elections, despite the fact that Khalwale later came and wanted to fight him in Parliament. So it's not as vindictive as people talk about.
No.
Yeah. Jeff, thank you for giving me the mic, and try and exercise a bit of moderation in the discussion. Now, I want to agree with Murkomen when he says that in the coming days, in future, we look forward to a Kenya where people will not be elected on the score of ethnicity. Should that good result then obtain, Murkomen, then people will be elected on parameters where they have demonstrated talents of good governance. Your hero, Deputy President Ruto, is the face of corruption in Kenya.
What corruption?
Can you relax?
Yeah, but you must back what you say with evidence.
Yeah. I thought we were debating.
One thing.
Yes. Just a minute.
Just say one.
So now, the one thing that we want to talk about, I am responsible for having nailed him on the maize.
You never nailed him, he nailed you.
Two.
He nailed you instead. He embarrassed you actually.
The land scandals. The land scandals that he's been involved in.
Which one?
Including the one of my own cousin, Adrian Moteshi, which he took in Eldoret during the post-election violence. Three, the hustler jet. You remember that was the first thing I shocked you with in the Senate when the Deputy President took a whopping 100 million Kenya shillings, hired a jet to go and do whatever he did in West Africa. That story, you killed it because the chairman of public accounts was his locker boy by that time. That is how that hustler jet thing died.
Who is the locker boy again? The locker boy?
I think the chairman was Babu. Yes. So you cannot be proud of somebody who is corrupt and tell us that because you love him for that, unless you partake of the proceeds of the corruption, that he's going to be the best.
Jeff Koinage, I mean, let's be factual. There is only one institution that can declare someone corrupt. Is the courts of the Republic of Kenya. There is no single incident, despite the hate campaign run by people like Khalwale, despite the envy that they demonstrate, despite the misuse of Public Accounts Committee and committees of Parliament. You know, William Ruto, every time he has been implicated on anything, whether in Kenya or ICC, he has come out on top. And I remember what he said once, that you know, God turned the stones that were put on his way to be the stepping stone to a greater heights. And I want to say this, in the fight against corruption in this Republic of Kenya, the reason why Kenyans are frustrated that people are not being nailed on the fight against corruption is, in the first place, the allegations against the people who are being mentioned are actually framed. And I can give a very real example. When our law firm was invited to a Public Accounts Committee of National Assembly, some members of Parliament asked for bribes. And when we were unable to pay them for those bribes, they went ahead and threatened me, and they said, you know, we will mention your name whether there is evidence or not. We will say you must be charged whether there will be evidence or not. We will make sure, I don't know, they have not finished the report. We will ensure that we put you. When you start using the fight against corruption as a mechanism of smearing mud on people, when you do what Khalwale was trying to do with the maize scandal, where he was defeated thoroughly, you undermine the fight against corruption because it loses the meaning. And that's why we have said, members of Parliament, for example, we must build the institutions of DPP, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, and the Department of Criminal Justice, Crimes and Investigation, to do the independent work. Don't allow people like Khalwale to come and investigate Oparanya, and is going to run against Oparanya, or because they have a political agenda. In any case, there is no time politicians have become investigators of crime.
Right, gentlemen, I'm going to give you the mic right now, Daktari, but here's the deal. We have to wind down. We've done an hour. We have to wind down. But in your winding down closing statements, could you please answer one question for me? In that winding down, where is Weta?
No, I will not do that. That's not debate. The debate is still on the issue.
No, this one we finished.
No, you have not. I have the right of response. If the criminal justice system was working in this country, Murkomen would not be seated where he is.
Where would he be?
He should be in jail.
This man?
Why?
Yes.
Why?
For the reason that the NYS scandal, the principal players, They have mentioned his name.
So,
And the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament requested him to appear before it. Instead of appearing, he dodged and did all manner of things. He can use this opportunity to explain why he did not go to take up the opportunity to clear his name before Public Accounts Committee.
So you say he will be in jail today?
He would be. Finally, you'll respond. Finally, if Murkomen really was asked for a bribe, this is a lawyer. He knows that the crime of corruption applies to the giver
and the taker.
Correct.
Why didn't you report the one who wanted to take from you? You are lying.
We can debate this all day long.
We have to reply. We have to reply to that. First of all, Jeff, there was no time that I was mentioned by anyone that I was.
You were mentioned.
What's the problem with you?
Can I now respond? I mean, don't make statements.
In public accounts.
I was never mentioned anywhere. Our law firm was acting for clients. We represent criminals. Khalwale was once charged. He was represented by a lawyer for professional negligence.
But you were paid?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm saying every lawyer who is going to represent any client must be paid, and the law firm must be paid. So there was no time I was mentioned as Murkomen. In any case, the law firm was well represented in the Public Accounts Committee.
Then why did you go to say that in public accounts?
Most important, I am the only public leader who has written to the Speaker of National Assembly requesting an investigation of members of National Assembly on allegations of bribery. And I had said the Speaker should avail that committee for me to appear before it. The Public Accounts Committee of National Assembly is a toll station for corruption. It is the place where they hear any investigation here, they want to run there, and the first thing they will do, if you give us something small, we'll make sure your name is. I will not be surprised if they make the report finally to say, because the law firm of so-and-so did not explain this, it must be investigated, must do that, because they have never handled a situation. I will be the only person in this republic they have never handled a situation where a person faces them to the face and tell them, will not take bribe, will not take any nonsense, bring facts, and we'll be able to deal with you.
Okay.
So closing remarks now.
Yes, please.
Yeah, closing remarks.
Could you throw in that Weta?
I will.
Where is Weta?
I will tell you where he is. I'll do that. In my closing down remarks, I am very saddened that in his last speech as President of Kenya, State of the Nation address, the President never remembered to tell the country where the Kibaki projects that he took over from Kibaki government are. We wanted him to tell us that the standard gauge rail line that Kibaki envisaged to come from Mombasa all the way to Uganda, Kigali and Burundi and South Sudan has come this far. We wanted him to speak to the Lamu Port project. We wanted him to speak to the pipeline. We wanted him to speak on the Greenfields Airport terminal. Instead of doing that, he has done what he has done today, and I'm shocked that a young politician like this was standing to give him a standing ovation just to demonstrate the rule of psychophancy that the young politicians are now bringing in the Senate and in the National Assembly. I decry this. Finally, the issue of Wetangula. Wetangula is alive and well, up and kicking. He's been doing his public functions. He has presented his request that he be nominated as a flag bearer of NASA. It remains our hope and wish as the Fort Kenya fraternity that he'll find favor with the 12-man committee. Next question.
Yeah, we haven't seen him. Public rallies, we haven't seen him.
It means you don't keep yourself abreast with current affairs.
Okay, but what are his chances of being flag bearer?
Very good. All the 4 core principles enjoy equal opportunity, equal chances of becoming the flag bearer.
Really? That's why they're so miserable out there in those pictures, eh?
I tell you. Because I know your political persuasion. I'm not surprised. But that is the other life, not the current one.
Jeff, I really want to thank the President for... President Uhuru Kenyatta means well for this country, and it's been steering the public debate to issues. You know, what has been lacking on the other side is that every time we present issues for debate, let's debate the railway, what have we done? Let's debate energy, what have we done? Let's debate our schools, what have we done? The problem with the other side is that because they cannot debate on issues, they are deficient of issues. These are people who combined the years in government, all of 4 of them. They have been in government of about 100 years. And if you think about them, you know, coming to tell us that they have anything new to give to our republic, of course there is none. That is why they cannot debate on issues. And that's why the all projects that they have launched, whether it was Okoa Kenya, it failed. Whether it was their elections like ODM, black men failed. Whether it is NASA, this conglomeration of NASA, one joint nomination, it has failed. This is that is a team that has demonstrated a sterling performance on the level of failures they have. But on the other side, we have an entity called Jubilee, which is in government, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta, that is only competing against its own record. We are not actually competing against the NASA. We are competing against our own record and standards that we set for ourselves, and against 50+1%. I have no doubt in my mind that with the political performance we have done at the moment, we are definitely coming back. And we are not coming back out of arrogance. It's out of performance, because Kenyans, unlike NASA leaders, look at the performance and they can look at our scorecard and they're confident that will come. But on the Wetangula thing, Wetangula to Khalwale is a ladder, you know. He wanted to use Wetangula as a ladder to get his gubernatorial position. After that, he will dump him. And let me tell you, this is not new to Khalwale. Khalwale used Mudavadi.
Who will dump who?
Who will dump who? Khalwale will dump Wetangula, because he will be now out there, having been a presidential candidate, he will be jobless. And that is exactly what happened to Mudavadi.
And you and the DP, any ladder?
Mudavadi. I want to say this very, very openly, that I have open and public support of the Deputy President unconditionally.
Gentlemen,
you know, this is a fair comment from my brother about me using my colleagues from my community as ladders.
Yes.
You know, Kenyans should remember who Murkomen is. Murkomen is one of the destitute politicians of Deputy President William Ruto. Destitute. To this extent, he ran against Total Man.
Yeah.
But because of destitute politics, people like him and many other politicians have emerged. We are waiting to see in the next dispensation how many of these destitute politicians will be able to win an election.
Let me just
no.
This is just a that is fine. That's fine. He should be attributing that to Amen Asay, which is a very nebulous concept. I want to say that I am a very proud son of a squatter who made it.
Thank you.
Who made
I wanted you to say that.
Who made it to beat a billionaire.
I wanted you to say that.
And now you dress like one.
At the age of 33. You know,
wow.
the achievements I have made politically is uncomparable.
All right,
and number two and most important,
those
of us who've come to office, we have no apology by having William Ruto as our political mentor. But we must remind people, there were other people who wanted to come to office, but were defeated by other people. But we managed to come in because we convinced our people that we have an agenda, we have a vision. And any person who has watched me, whether in public platform or in my village or in my school or in my county, they know that I am a leader and a dealer in hope.
All right, gentlemen, can you promise me one thing at least?
Yes.
You'll both come back on the show one of these days.
Oh, of course.
Is that okay?
Yes, we will.
I appreciate it.
But why have you allowed him to thank only one man? He's thanking Ruto for making him politically and forgetting to thank Raila Odinga for paying for his postgraduate studies in the U.S.
That is a total lie.
Oh,
no. That is I was a World Bank scholar. A World Bank scholar, full scholarship. Raila Odinga never I was given full scholarship by the World Bank. Fully.
That's full disclosure.
Yeah. That is my full disclosure.
Thank you so much.
And I had a first class.
Monica, are we going to go to that clip? Are we going to go to that clip?
Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, you heard the president today in the speech, right?
Yes.
There's that song he sang, right?
Yes.
Let's listen there. You have to just listen. It'll bring us back memories. Go on. Go to the clip.
Construction of the 51-kilometer Mariakani Bamba Road means that the farmer's song, Safari, Oya, Safari Bamba ni Machero.
Confirms what I said, that this is PR. Nothing else. PR. Have we finished? Confirms this is PR.
Keep tweeting at K. Boni Murkomen, at Koinage Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya, hashtag JK Live. I hope you've enjoyed this show as much as I have tonight, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for watching. By the way, just to let you know, JKL is powered by Telcom Enterprise. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night. Good luck. Next Wednesday, if it is Wednesday, you know it's all about JKL. Good night. Good luck. God bless.